There are so many 3D printers available now, it can be hard to decide on just one. So in order to figure out which printer best fits your lifestyle, let's start by asking a question. What do you want to make? 3D printers can be divided into two categories. You have filament printers and resin printers. Filament printers print with plastic and are good for making large, lightweight pieces like props and armor, whereas resin printers print with resin, and they're really good for fine details on things like jewelry and small accessories. Once you've decided what you want to make, it's time to window shop for files. You can find free files on sites like Thingiverse. You can also find paid files on sites like Etsy, Cults 3D, and some cosplayers have their own shops where they host files, for example, The Dangerous Ladies. Now, when you're looking at these files, go into the descriptions and you should be able to find an area where it says the size of the printer bed that you need to create the item. For large staffs or swords, they're not going to fit into a printer, so they'll be sliced into sections and you print each section by itself and then put them together to create the item. So they should give a listing of the maximum size printer bed you need to use that particular file. This will give you an idea of what size print bed to look for when you are shopping for your printer. From here, let's talk about safety, which personally was one of the biggest factors in my decision-making process. Both filament and resin printers have the potential to release harmful gases and particles into the air. This is why when choosing a printer, I wanted one that had both an enclosure and a HEPA filter built in. These additional perks add to the cost of the printer, but from my personal opinion, they were non-negotiable for my lifestyle. This is also why I don't own a resin printer, as it is potentially more harmful than the filament PLA printer that I personally use. Also, when you use a filament printer, once the print cools, it's safe to touch. However, with a resin printer, the pieces must be cured or otherwise treated before you can touch them with your bare hands. I don't want to scare you away from using 3D printing in your cosplay, but I feel like safety really isn't talked about enough in the cosplay community. If after watching this video you've decided that having a 3D printer in your living space really doesn't work for you, that's totally okay. There are a bunch of other options where you can still incorporate 3D printing into your cosplays without owning your own printer. For example, a lot of libraries and schools have started having their own maker spaces where you can use the printers at their location. There are also websites where you can have a file printed for you and they'll send you the result. Additionally, you can support individual cosplayers and small businesses by purchasing pre-printed kits that you assemble at home. I hope you found this video helpful if you're looking into getting into 3D printing. Let me know in the comments below if you are thinking about using 3D printing in your cosplay, or if you already have a printer, what printer do you use? Thank you so much for watching. Bye.